My mic is low again. I don't know why I keep doing that to myself. Welcome back to Conversations with June. Okay, I'm done with that now. Welcome back to Conversations with June. As I just said, I can see one of these and I don't want to see it. So there's no point in doing the whole let's talk thing because, pardon me, that was gross. Pardon me again, because we are just going to keep mixing the hat until one of them falls out, like what just happened here. Because I think at this point, there's no point in just going whoop, because really there's only like what, 7-ish now in there. So, yes, a conversation topic. This is like the only one that's like an actual conversation topic. So this is idea number 10. And this is my opinion, right? So, I think, if it will lock on, there we go, shows should have 5 seasons. Or have a maximum of 5 seasons, rather. So, before I even get into this, right, people are going to say, oh, Friends lasted for 10 seasons, Big Bang Theory has lasted for 11 seasons, Scrubs lasted for 9 seasons. I will point out something with all those shows. Friends. A lot of people say Friends only gets good after season 5, like gets really good after season 5. That's the fault of either them or the writers. If the second half of the show is good, that's not my problem. Like the first 5 seasons aren't great. So it's not my issue. I don't have to fucking deal with that. Scrubs got up to season 8 was fine, but everyone knows that the last season of Scrubs wasn't great. And The Big Bang Theory is a terrible show anyway. So, take that how you will. But I think that shows should have 5 seasons, and that is because if you look at how theater is done, like tragedies in particular, but a lot of theater does this. It's a five act structure. It's, the start, the rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the conclusion. It goes in a neat little triangle-ass motion, which granted you can do in 3 seasons, which I get. But, I think that a show should have a maximum of 5 seasons, because otherwise it starts risking losing its ideas. I love the show, and I can watch all 10 seasons of it, but, Parks and Rec, for example, I think after it hit season 5, had a lot more episodes where I went, yeah, okay, I get it, but I'm not quite laughing. Like, that might be on me. Maybe my humor changed midway through watching that series. But I think that it very heavily impacts how a show's flow works. Especially if your show is story driven. It impacts how much is actually story and how much could be considered filler. Like, with a 5 season structure, right? You can get in enough episodes about the story alongside enough episodes about characters, right? Like, I'm gonna use anime as an example here, not necessarily like because an anime has 5 seasons, but just because of how anime works. So everyone who knows Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Dragon Ball Z, etc., knows that there's these things called filler episodes, which don't add to the story, basically. They're literally there to add runtime because they needed to catch up with the story, like with what's happening in the manga. But a Western series, or sometimes these series, would make those episodes based around the characters and learning more about them and how they are, which I think is the way to do it. Sorry, my voice is having a situation today. So that's why I think 5 seasons should be the maximum before you kind of look at your TV show and go, yeah, we kind of need to end this. Now, not to say that there aren't exceptions to this, right? For example, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so far, it's just finished its 5th season. It almost got cancelled. And this is what actually caused this conversation. Because I said, I hate the fact that the show got cancelled. But it could be a blessing in disguise because it was its 5th season. And after season 5, a lot of things go downhill. And that caused a lot of arguments with my friends. or at least an argument with like a whole group of people that I was having this talk with. But 5 seasons is the perfect amount of time to learn about your characters, learn about your world, learn your story, and end it. And that's fine. Granted, if you want to add more, maybe, I say 5 seasons is best with a 2-season grace period. So that means either 3 seasons is fine, or 7 seasons can be fine. Not necessarily to say that 7 seasons is still good, but it's better than having a show like The Big Bang Theory that has 12 seasons. We don't need a show with 12 seasons. In fact, I'm gonna fucking turn this around, right? Let's look at Family Guy, okay? Family Guy. Now, I don't like Family Guy, but that's not to say that the first 4 seasons don't have its merits. The first 4 seasons, you know what, in hindsight, are actually pretty decent. And Fox canceled the show, and then and then people complained because they're like, wow, this is a really good show. But when it came back for 5th season was, I guess, okay. But after that, you can really tell that what happened was that whoever started being like the main writer or the main producer or the main director or whatever basically went, I really don't want to do this. I really don't want to be a part of this show. And it feels like everything they've done since season 5 has been in an attempt to get that show to stop being a show. There's only a few shows that I can think of where pushing that season barrier was okay. Even Futurama. I love Futurama. I will love it till the end of my days. But the fact that it got cancelled and then renewed 3 times kind of worried me. Not to say that the last season isn't quality. The last season is fine. The last season is actually pretty good. But the fact that you could see that every time that the show got cancelled, they had a solid ending to it. And then they went, oh, we gotta fix this. How do we fix this? I know. And they fixed it. Which, again, is fine. But I think the show should have 5 seasons. Just 5. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what does that mean for shows like Firefly that has 14 seasons, or a show like something I watched recently called Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, which is only 6 episodes. If you can tell your story in a limited amount of episodes, that's great. That's actually really fucking interesting and good to me. Over the Garden Wall is one of my favorite cartoon series of all time, and that's only 11 episodes? 11 10-minute episodes? It's a really fucking good show though, because it does everything it wants to in those 110 minutes, in that just about a movie structure, and that's good. You're not gonna sit there, right, and watch 5 movies in the same series and go, yeah, I'm fine with this. People can just about deal with a trilogy. People can just about deal with a trilogy of movies. Once you hit, the 5th sequel, everyone knows that you've gone downhill. Look at Ice Age, right? Ice Age could have done fine with its trilogy. Doesn't necessarily mean the 3rd one was okay. The 1st and 2nd one, I think, were fine. The 3rd one was eh. But you know that after that trilogy is done, 4th movie is bad, 5th movie is worse, and anything afterwards is definitely unwatchable. Alpha and Omega. But you don't need more than 5 seasons of a TV show to tell your story. And if it keeps pushing past that, chances are it's doing that for money. There's a whole lot of teen dramas that exist and have existed for 10 seasons. I'm looking at Gossip Girl, I'm looking at fucking Desperate Housewives, shit like that. Not to say that again, Desperate Housewives is semi a guilty pleasure. That doesn't mean that it needed to last 10 seasons. It could have ended. It just didn't. It just decided not to because it was making money. The moment it stopped making money, they went, yeah, okay, we'll end the show. That's how it is. And I don't think that's right on an artistic standpoint, but I get it on a money-making standpoint, if that makes any sense. On an artistic storytelling standpoint, you don't need more than 5 seasons to tell your story. And if you need more than 5 seasons, then I don't know what to tell you. Shorten your fucking story. That's the deal. That's the deal with that. In fact, no. Before I end it, one last example of a show that could have ended by now and hasn't. Adventure Time. So, I know a lot of people love Adventure Time. But let's be honest here. When was the last time you watched Adventure Time? I don't know anyone who used to love Adventure Time or loves Adventure Time who's been watching the past, like, 2 or 3 seasons. This show has lasted for, like, 10, 11 seasons, and still is kind of like, I think it's only dying, like, now, this year. I think that's only when the show ends, which is fucking crazy. Or maybe it ended last year and I'm an idiot. I don't know. But you don't need, like, 10 seasons. In fact, I can say with Adventure Time, the perfect moment that the show immediately went downhill, and it was their best episode. They did their best episode of Adventure Time, right? And I used to watch the show up until this moment. And that was the Ice King reveal about him being, like, a dude called Simon Petrikov, and that whole, I think it's Petrikov anyway, that whole episode, like, well, that whole 2-episode, like, story is so fucking interesting and so good for not only telling us about the character, but telling us about the world that these characters are in, that you can't beat that. And the fact that I think that was in season 5, and all the stuff that I've seen about that story since then I've liked, but to have that and then immediately go back to whatever the fuck Adventure Time is, you can't do that. You have to then consistently either hit that level or higher, unless you want to lose interest, which is what happened. People didn't watch Adventure Time for, like, seasons 6, 7, and 8, and then 9 and 10 kind of picked up, I think, in ratings. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, but I don't fucking know. But that's what I'm saying. Show should be 5 seasons. If you disagree with me, talk to me about it. Tell me what shows have lasted longer than 5 seasons that needed to last longer than 5 seasons. Not that you liked all of it, the fact that it needed to keep going. Did it need to keep going? If not, don't mention it. But if it did, then yes, go ahead, mention it to me. But thank you very much for watching this episode. I hope you'll have a very nice day. I hope you'll have a very nice day, and I will see you tomorrow for day 23. So, see ya.